Hi guys, welcome to Clockwork and Noodles. This is the last time I get to talk to you guys about Zombieland Saga, and what a ride it has been. This week's episode was a great wrap up, and I think as well this week's episode is quite fitting for the world that we're in so far. None of us have really been to a concert in a year, at least a year now, and this week's episode kind of gave me those vibes of once upon a time. Do you remember what it was like to be at a concert? This week's episode hits just a little bit different after what we've all been through together. So before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed. We are edging so close. We are 11 subs away from 400. Come on guys, make my day. Can we get 11 of you guys to subscribe before we end up going into the new season? So yes, the new season is nearly upon us. Make sure you guys are clued up to what I am breaking down on the channel. There are 4 animes now taking the main stage, shall we say, to keep it themed. We have 4 new animes coming our way. Make sure you check out the video where I crowned my top 3 anime of this season. In that same video, I tell you guys what I'm breaking down and give you an idea of what this season is going to bring. It's a very different season in general, and I think it's generally a little bit more quieter, so I may have a bit more time on my hands, but do check that video out. There is a Discord channel too if you decide that you want a notification to your phone whenever videos go up, as sometimes my videos can go up a little bit hit and miss. I generally have days set, but sometimes they can be a little bit earlier than usual, but I do try to have them roughly out at the same time. So let's talk about the power of idols, relief concerts, Kotaro being amazing, and also Kotaro, I've got my eye on you, and I don't think it's a good thing. The open, we've got just seeing the damage that has been done to the prefecture and just seeing the relief effort going to try and get things like grids back up, where we are interrupted by our boy trying to just get them to make the call. This is what the people need right now. People need the morality boost. They need a high boost. They need to be together. They need to be unified. And a good way of doing that is to use the local band, which is Franchuchu, which I think is a nice little effort. Whether this would really happen in real life, I'm not quite sure. I mean, if there was a proper disaster, having a concert, how realistic that would be. But it is nice to imagine, especially now that none of us have really been to a concert in a while. So this is our concert. Team Kotaro and Arata both believing in Franchuchu. It's nice just to see the two pairing up because he was played off, our reporter, who was played off for a bit of a... And I don't want to say anti-hero because we don't really have heroes and villains in this anime in particular, but it was played up as an obstacle, somebody who was probably going to be against them. But it's nice to see them all teaming up together because they all believe in the power of Franchuchu, how they want to do, and the ability to pull off a charity live, as they're going to call it, where the money will go to the relief effort, something which they really, really need. As well, it's a good way of raising the profile of Saga, so people further afield get to know what's going on, as we do hear a bit later on that people further afield are donating money to the cause. The line with Yugiri on as she's looking up at the stars, wondering if he is still watching over them, is a great little link just to the past as well. I'd like to think that he's still watching over you. Whether I still think my theory that it's Kotaro, I don't think it is, but I'd like to think there's a proper little link going on there. My theory down the line will be half correct at the least. But it is a stroke of luck when they are able to end up broadcasting on the different day. And the fact that they still have something running. I don't know what the situation on the area is, whether they've still got electricity or not. It's very hit and miss. And at times I want to say they don't have electricity and the grid's down. But with them still broadcasting, maybe they do have a way of doing so, but it is again stroke of luck that they have the ability to do that. But it's a perfect opportunity just to see the girls bumping the concert, raising the stakes for that concert as well, and also trying to raise the spirits of the people around them. And a good way of them doing this, which I think is really, really nice, is just by being honest and open. So they talk from the heart, and the way that they do it, this might not be the right thing and blah 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 blah, that they're being honest. The way that they're talking is down to earth, it's realistic. And it's a great way of just being like, we are one of you guys. We are here with you. We are just being open, honest. Maybe you're listening, maybe you're not. So it's the ability that the girls are doing all this without the knowledge that there's actually people listening, without the knowledge that somebody is there to receive the words that they're giving. And it's just a really good episode just to tie up all of the past connections. All the past characters get to come back this time. Any character, big, small, whatever role they've had to play in the series so far, they all get a place in this episode, and I think it's really nice, a nice way of tying them all together. The artwork for the Damaged Saga section is perhaps one of my favourites. It's more for the fact that I really enjoy things like urban exploring. Very recently, every so often I go through a Chernobyl phase where I'll just go and watch videos on the area of Chernobyl. What the area has become, the idea that once upon a time this was a bustling town, a bustling street, and now it's lying untouched, undisturbed, uprooted sometimes as well, where nature starts to take over. We're not really at the nature taken over section in the anime, but it's nice to get that vibe because we really do have that feel going on with some of these shots that we get with how bright the girls are. The girls are really, really bright. They stand out really, really nicely against those torn backgrounds, and to showing you that they are the idea of hope and they are bright against disaster that is around them, so they stand out from the rest of what's going on. The music at this point is really, really nice. It's simply just synths. The way that they start to increase and go up the major scale is symbolizing that there is hope. Hope is growing slowly amongst the unknown, and we don't know what lies ahead. The girls haven't really been in communication with anybody because the lines are down, so they don't know what's waiting for them, but they keep on going. It's the idea of just keep pressing forward, and if you get there and there's no one there, at least you continued and tried. I like this. I like the way that this entire segment is handled. I think it's really nice. Seeing Sakura being as positive as she is, trying to tell everybody that we're not going to give up, we are equally as determined. Even if we fail, we're just going to keep on getting up. It's that one positive of Sakura's that really does put her on the same lines as the other idols in her band, because as we saw with her story was cut so short. She literally just got in and then she's murdered the same day by Truck-kun, because Truck-kun is he's on a mission. He's on a mission to give us isekai, and he is the isekai machine. However, Sakura didn't get put in an isekai. She ends up being revived. So perhaps Sakura was supposed to go to isekai land and she just didn't, because Kotaro, he knew she had a place this time in this anime. But it is really good because we get to see those idol qualities that really do make her stand out. But the major turnaround, just all silent, and then suddenly we get the uplift in the music as our fans start to arrive. These are all characters who have been in our story. They've had a role to play, no matter how big, no matter how small. And I also like the fact that we start with those two guys, just the two guys who started it all, the ones who were there right at the start, episode 1, death metal headbanger fest. Nobody knew what really was going on, but those two guys who just saw Franchuchu, and something about that band ended up clicking with them, and now they are here, the first people in the stadium to set off the arrival of the masses. It's an episode as well that shows us the power of press, advertising, media, just what you can do when you start partnering with the right people. When Kotaro starts to reach out to his friend, the reporter, he gets more headlines starting to be produced, and it really does boost the profile of the concert that you're planning to put on. As well, seeing how far some of these people may have walked. The people have walked there because no of the transport isn't running. Just seeing that mass support, everybody wanted to be in the same place to show their support for Saga, to come together and have this concert. Kotaro as well. His endless harassment of the bigwigs, the people up in charge, really has paid off. And that, I think, is one of his honest points as well. His positive points is he doesn't give up. Even if he's super annoying, he doesn't give up, and he can be there like a stone, just barraging somebody over and over again until he finally gets the result that he wants, which I think is one of his positive points. The concert is 2020. We do actually get a date, so they are a year behind us in the year that we sadly all missed out on. So this is the concert that never was, but we all now get to enjoy it from the safety of our own homes. The audience size is something that we always longed to see for our girls. This is the size audience that they deserve. This is the size audience that we really wanted to see right back in the beginning, where they actually did that show and nobody was there. It's a lively, fantastic concert. There's a few little points in this concert that I think are positives, are really great highlights, which we'll get to in a moment. The camera shots as well, diving through the audience, just showing you the different kind of angles, how big the audience is really, really nice, giving us that feel. It's been a long time since many of us were in that situation, there, up, staring up at the band and just being amongst other people sharing our love of a certain band or group. Tai leading the vocal chant is something I really want to point out because it's absolutely amazing. It's a great touch as well because it makes the the concert feel even more real, because there are times when in a concert the lead singer wants to get the audience involved. It wants all about audience participation, which is what I think makes sometimes a good concerts is the ones where you too feel like you're involved in the piece of music, the piece of history that is being created in front of you. Because a lot of these concerts that we go to, a reason why we love them so much, the live feel, is because what's going on in front of you is live. It's a moment of history that some people might get to go, oh, do you remember the London show? And I wasn't there. And you can talk about it like it's a milestone in a anime or a real life band's journey to wherever they are heading. But her leading the chant is fantastic, even though she hasn't really got the most vocal range. She's very limited with her vocal range because she's not fully awake as like the others are. But it's nice just to see that that's not putting her off. She's still got a place in the band. She's still there warming up the audience, and it's great. But rest in peace, concerts. We really do miss you. Hopefully we will all start to be in these situations at some point soon. Sakura's voice actor, my goodness, has some lung capacity when she leads that high note and just holds it. It's a great use of us having some new songs. None of the songs are repeated. We all get 3 new songs to the Fan Choo Choo catalogue. It is a great use of audience participation. I love the way they get them involved and letting them kind of finish off the words, finish off the sentences. I like this. It also adds that hint of realness that you would get at a live concert. The touching moment before our encore with the girls telling Kotaro, yes, we understand there is still so much to do. We can't get complacent. We are eternal. We are unstoppable, which leads to Kotaro having his cute little breakdown and then my worrying moment. But it's nice because the girls have grown. They've come so far. It feels like we've gone full circle with the girls now standing where they are at the point that we are confident we can do this. We're going to keep on trying. Kotaro's little breakdown as well is just so nice because it feels like everything he's been working so hard for, all his dreams that he's really been powering towards making Saga great again. He's now one step closer at the very least. That Saga may not be close to being saved, but it's one step closer. And even grown-ass men cry. And this is it. Kotaro is showing you that even grown-ass men do cry. And Kotaro, we still love you for it. However, is there something you want to tell us? Because that's Kotaro's blood on the floor after he's had his moment. Sure, he was literally blowing his throat out, going go, 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 go. And at times I do wonder if the voice actor for Kotaro, do you ever just blow your voice out? Does he ever get vocal strain just because of how hype? He literally goes in 1,000% with his voice actor roles. All of his roles are hype. He must at some point have throat ache or vocal ache at some point. But I am concerned about Kotaro. Maybe I was correct when I said he was treading water for at least a few nights. Maybe that's going to give him pneumonia, give him something. And he's too busy focusing on getting the girls on stage to even care about his own health. Maybe he's hiding something completely more fatal from us. His time is starting to tick because I think he's hiding something from us. And I'm going to cry if he dies because he's my favourite character. Don't kill my boy off. Just don't do that. You're going to have me bawling. The end sequences matching our rebuild of Saga, showing Fan Choo Choo helping with the rebuild effort, helping everybody, and it's all about community spirit this episode, the heart of Saga. Saga's heart is in its community, the way that everyone comes together, they don't give up, showing us as well, they do this with the overlap of the final encore song. I think it's really, really nice. And then the ending, oh my goodness, is that an alien craft coming in to invade? Maybe next season it's going to be Zombieland Saga, Take Me to Your Leader. So that is it for season 2 of Zombieland Saga. It has been amazing and I am so happy I get to break this down with you because I watched the first season back before I was doing any kind of breakdowns, so I didn't really get a chance to share my opinions on it. This time I do. I get to tell you how much I love this, how off the wall this Fan Choo Choo is and how off the wall Kotaro is and how much I love the group. I think my favourite character is just Kotaro. He shines. He's not an idol and he's not the one who's supposed to be shining, but he shines nonetheless. Overall, I am giving this anime season a 7.4 out of 8. Probably going to be generous and probably give it an 8 on my anime list. Really, really did enjoy it. It had some good moments. There was a few quiet moments which were okay, cool at the beginning of the season, but the arc with Yugiri, absolutely loved it to pieces. And then the way that the entire second half of the anime played out, I think was great. The pacing was nice. Having them all come together, having everybody do that community spirit, which is what puts Saga on the map. I think it's great. I think I've really had fun this season. We've had a lot of great new developments for our characters. Perhaps the thing with Kotaro and Sakura, the fact that he definitely seems to remember who she is and he has all these memories of the past, and whether she remembers and whether he's at some point gonna tell her or anything gonna happen there would be quite nice. I do support those two. I think they are fantastic, and I love the fact that he's been supporting her even just as a classmate to help her towards her dreams of being an idol. I really like that. I think it's great. Just sad that we may be losing Kotaro, and maybe that's going to be the big payoff, that Saga will be saved, but at what cost? I don't want him to die. Maybe he'll be turned into a zombie as well. Who knows? That also wipes out my theory that he was a zombie. I did say, is it possible he's a zombie? We never get to see his face, and we know he can do good makeup. Perhaps, but I don't think so. I think there's been enough evidence to say that he's definitely human, and he's bleeding on the floor. I am very hyped. I don't know if we're going to go to season 3. I've not heard anything. I think Mappa's very, very busy right now with things like Spy X Family. We've got Chainsaw Man coming our way. I think it's going to be a fantastic, at least future for anime. I think it's hype. I really can't wait to see what comes our way. I really hope I get to break down more animes with you guys as well. If you are not subscribed and you want to subscribe, please do. We are 11 away from being 400 noodles strong. We are the Noodle Bowl. Welcome to the Noodle Bowl. I am Clockwork Dandy Noodles. I am the queen of the broth. Makes a good ramen bowl. And you guys are coming together to help us build a fantastic ramen bowl. Without you guys, I can't have a ramen bowl. So I will see you guys hopefully again next season for a new anime to break down with you. Thank you guys for those who have tuned in weekly. You guys are fantastic, and it makes me so happy to know that even on an anime like this, there's people who are happy to listen to me ramble. Have a good day, stay safe, and for the last time, Ohayo gozaimasu!